First of all, I'd like to extend thanks to Dr. Intisar. Congratulations for her to be the CCNE coordinator. I'd like to present the discussion paper, which is available now. I wish that I have had more time or to make it more clear. Yes, it is clear now. As you can see now, if we have more time next meeting, we will give you more opportunity. But today, we need to have a brief update. What are the current situation? What is requested in the CCNE 12 in order to be prepared with the same matter and agreement. The discussion paper is divided into 5 items. First, the objective of the request of Syria to collect information. The main objective for the Codex Standard to be based on scientific basis and on updated scientific data, and to reflect the footnote C to sterula, and to reflect all the properties of oil, especially in the region, including Syria. We would like to remind you about the background of the discussion paper requested by Syria. In regard to the background, as you know, Syria used to have a lot of concern about the amendment CX33. According to the footnote C regard to sterolab, there will be 40% of the oil production of Syria will not be available for export. We would like to remind you that our first part to request amendment according to the CCFO 28, and Syria expressed its main concern that this footnote will not represent the different products of Syria oil, and that will affect the Syria products because of the presence of this footnote of the data CNN and the acidic and glycerin, that where a condition is to be less than 0.1%, and during the CAC 47, Syria expressed through a discussion paper CRD 8, and I would like to extend thanks to the region states in the CAC 47. It was adopted the olive oil standard CX33, but launched and provided that data collection will be reconsidered to reconsider footnote C, and the data collection and analysis will be by the team of FAO. Down, we can have a quick look about this footnote and the problematic issue for Syria and why it is presented by Syria. As we can see inside this footnote, it states that the 3.2 item in regard to sterolate component of the origin oil, there is a type of sterol, data 7 stigma sterol. That sterol can be raised, and when it raises, it shall be under the footnote 3. So the data for 7 statistinol is 0.5. It is compliant with the component of delta C and E, which is the distribution of acidic fats. It is more than 0.1%. It is evident here in the annex inside the standard. So we believe the Codex Standard 3.23 footnote C does not reflect the origin of Syria oil, and it is adversely affected the Syrian product. By presenting the view in item 3, the scientific studies, it proved that this sterol is raised in Syria, and the footnote C also does not reflect the current situation, and the exports from all Syrian companies that pack oil of Syria has the same problem after the analysis and export of the product. We added Annex 1 and Annex 2 to mention why the cargoes of Syria are refused according to this footnote. So we believe this footnote, which insisted that it has lower rates of delta C and A not exceeding 0.1%, does not cover the oil of Syria. Down, please. We believe this footnote is unfair for the olive oil of Syria and even the origin oils around the world because it states the stereolate components and acid fats are not compliant. Until now, we have a concern. During the preparation of the standard, Syria based relied on the International Council for Olive Oil Standard, who didn't have data during the period they requested data from Syria. So this footnote is a major concern in regard to Delta CN, and it affects olive oil of Syria and its exports. And it is a risk for the exports and even for a different section of farmers. So this will be an economic problem for Syria. What we request here for item 4, the basis of our presentation, we present a work plan to collect the data provided by Syria, explaining details, the mechanisms, and it requests the other Arab states in the region who will participate in CCNE to adopt the same methodology and to support this plan. The plan contains three main parts. We will collect samples from olive oil of Syria with a high production exported outside. We will collect the data for the types with this problem. We will cover all regions of the problem. We will talk about the methodology of adoption and accreditation. We will gather the samples over 2 seasons in order to consider the weathers. Secondly, in every season, we will collect 3 phases of ripening. In every season, we will gather 3 samples to be analyzed. The third step of the work plan that we propose, it will focus mainly on the acidic fats and stereolate to reflect the delta 7 stigmastenol and the delta CN. That will be accompanied with the confirmation of the quality of the olive oils of Syria. We will assess acidity, peroxide, UV absorption according to the different accredited means. And this is in the Annex 3. In addition to that, and the government work that we will collect the data through. Also, we will have a sample from big companies exporting this oil, and we'll include them in the analysis of the data, because exporter is not only one, but it is a mix of different products, and this is a practice by exporters of olive oil. We wish that this protocol that we presented, that we will follow, and we propose that to be adopted by the member states of CCNE and to try to cope up with us, especially in neighboring countries with the same weather conditions, like Syria. They have the same problem like Lebanon, Palestine, Jordan, Iraq, Tunisia, Algeria, and we will engage Turkey with us in order to gather the data according to the proposal of Syria. So, what are the recommendations we present to you through this meeting? We propose, as long as FAO adopted, that it will participate in the process of data collection and analysis by the experts. We will exploit this opportunity to request a methodology from the CCNE to propose or establish a working group for the region to support this initiative and to do the data collection support. Also, we request all effective organizations, and specific the Arab Council for Olive Oil and Olive, and the Arab Initiative under Food Codex, and the Gulf GCC initiative to participate with us in the data collection to reflect the originality of the oils in these regions. We request this work to be supported by 2 types of mechanisms: funding and technical support. Funding, the laboratories need financial support. They are not accredited. Our laboratories are not accredited. We request help to do the analysis outside at accredited laboratories in the States region. Also, we requested to have virtual meetings or technical workshops in order to reflect what the procedures to be followed in order to unify the technical work to be based on scientific basis, proper basis. We wish that this methodology is adopted and plan is adopted and taken into consideration current and previous studies in order to have a database for the region to reflect the effect of weather conditions on the origin oil. Finally, we request also, as much as we can, to establish a database for the region with the participation of the different monitoring authorities, IDSMO and Arab Initiative, and the Arab Council for Oil, to show and to represent the data collection, to have a database for any amendment to be proposed by the Food Codex in regard to the international standard. Finally, we will do our best to include and to request from the International Council for Olive to collect data with us and to support us with data in order for the assessment of footnote C to reflect the originality of the oil in the region, especially in the Near East. Thank you. Quickly, I'll present the annexes. This is the first annex reflecting the scientific studies before 2010 and 11 in Syria to approve this phenomenon. Annex 2, you will find the analysis of exporting companies. Footnote C is not fulfilled. Down, please. The final annex, Annex 3. This is the analytical tests and applicable CYA methods for olive oil characterization through the plan proposed to be implemented, or if you participate with us within the support in the region to take the same procedures. I wish that my presentation is clear. I'm ready for any inquiries.